Big Z Reviews. Soul is the newest film from Pixar and Disney, and I think it was released around Christmas on Disney Plus, and it is an excellent movie. I really enjoyed it.
Oh my goodness! Help! I'm not done! Holy! Oh my goodness! This week, the council. There's a soul missing. Is this heaven?
No.
Is it H-E double hockey sticks?
Hell?
Quiet coyotes. No, it's the great before.
It's so funny, around Christmas I didn't really get around to bother watching it because I heard that it was heartfelt, and I was worried that it may be a little depressing, so I didn't watch it because I wanted to be cheered up more with the movie I was watching. But then I finally gave it a shot, and I would say it's not, like, I did have tears in my eyes in certain moments, but it wasn't sad. It was just, some things were emotional about it. Like, it wasn't really depressing or sad. And, but the idea is that it's, Jamie Foxx as Joe, and he is, a jazz pianist, and he's like a music teacher, but then he finally gets his break, and he's going to perform in this jazz club, and then he's so excited he falls into a manhole and dies. And honestly, like Inside Out and other Pixar movies, if you actually stop to think about things, you'd be like, but wait, how would that work? Because obviously, like, say that maybe he's in a coma or something, but like at a certain point he comes back to our world, and he's not, and doesn't have any injuries. So, but is he a walking corpse, or is he? I think he's in the hospital, so he was just in a coma. But if he was in a coma, he should have a brain injury or some broken bones or something. But it's kind of hand wavy. It doesn't matter for what the story's trying to tell, and that's fine. And it's funny. I feel like Disney has been very smart with what it's decided to hold and what it's decided to release on Disney Plus. Because Mulan was not a good movie, and I feel like they knew it, so they did it only on Disney Plus. And so same with Soul, except that Soul is a really good movie, but I honestly don't know if kids would like it, because it is trippy and it's jazz, a lot of jazz music, but it's about really big ideas, and it's beautiful and it's amazing. But I don't know how it would have done in the box office, if the pandemic wasn't going on. Because it's, once he dies and goes to the before, or whatever it is, it's incredibly trippy and weird. And it is weird, but it's very interesting and very different and unique. I've never seen anything quite like it. But I don't know if kids would like it or not. This is really for adults, I think, because but the idea is that Jamie Foxx, when he doesn't want to die, he jumps off the stairway to heaven or whatever comes after, and he falls through the barrier and lands in the before, where souls are given their personalities and before they go to Earth. And honestly, again, if you stop to think about it, I don't like the idea that eventually they make a joke about how this person's going to be a serial killer. Good luckers, But I think that with the idea that, I was a psychology minor, and I really felt like the idea that, there is, who people are, it's not nature or nurture. It's kind of somewhere between, it's somewhere both. You have a genetic predisposition to certain things, but your what happens in your life is going to decide, your personality and if you're going to have any disorders or anything. Because they always said that my abnormal psychology teacher in college, he was an adjunct professor. I think that one, I took a night class for that one, and he was actually the ex-husband of the head of the psychology department, and his main full-time job was a psychologist at the prison. Had the big prison that in our area, and he would use it for normal psychology. He would take out the names, but he would, when talking about things, he would use actual cases, and he would explore stuff with them. But he he always had this one thing that I kind of I never really forgot, because it's talking about how between nature and nurture. Because when you think about it, even if like a very genetic mental disorders like schizophrenia, like even like for twin studies, many times it's only 50-50. Like one twin gets it and one twin doesn't, and that's just from random things that happen in their life. Or that it's not even like it's all of so much about, it's not just, you know, how you're born, but it's a mixture of everything that makes you who you are. Like he was like, one of his really interesting things I always never forget, that he described that if one of his old students that he had failed came into the classroom with a hand grenade, and he threw it into the room, and he jumped on it and exploded and killed himself, and covering some people in the front with gore, like, but he said that like every single person in the classroom would have a different response to that in long term. And like, and you could say that, oh, maybe it would be the person closest to where the explosion was, or, you know, what if people that have they're genetically predisposed to having a PTSD would get it. But like, there's so many, every single person is unique, and that kind of determines like how what you're exposed to in your life may affect you. And I think that when you try to limit it down to, oh, we're in the before time, and you pick 6 different personalities, and you find your spark, and you go down to Earth and your baby, and it's like, it's a little like simplifying what human personality, but at the same time, that's what Inside Out is, and this doesn't really matter, you know. But the idea is Jamie Foxx gets there this before time, and he meets up with Tina Fey playing 22. And the idea that there's like, you know, billions of souls have come through here, and the 22 is like, she's been here forever, and she's never found her spark or her reason to go to Earth. And like, all of the history's greatest people have taught her and tried to get her to come to Earth, and she's denied them all, and she's stayed there. And it's funny, that's the most interesting stuff. But at a certain point, like, it becomes like a body swap movie, because they accidentally go to Earth, and they both go, and then Jamie Foxx ends up in a cat's body, and Tina Fey is in his body. And like that's where the stuff that I think kids would like, you know, that's kind of the kid movie stuff. It's all revolving around like, oh, it's so goofy. The cat is being all like a person, and the person doesn't know how to walk or do anything, and loves food, and they're exposing all the stuff in New York City, and the stuff's really funny and heartfelt, and I liked it. But again, it's almost a different tone to the really trippy kind of afterlife and before life stuff. But, you know, I will say the music is amazing. Like, Trent Reznor did a lot of the music, especially in the Afterworld and stuff, in the other, like, before life and afterlife. And then John Baptiste, which is, you know, the pianist on the Colbert Show, and also a great jazz pianist in his own right. Like, he does, anytime you see Jamie Foxx playing, that's John Baptiste. And they actually used his fingers as the reference when drawing Joe. And like, I'm not a huge fan of jazz, but the music is beautiful. And there's a lot of great music, and there's a lot of great things here. And it's telling an interesting story, but I think this is like the first like black character in the Pixar film. I'm not sure, or definitely the first main character that's black in a Pixar film. And there's just a lot of great stuff here. Again, when you stop to think about it and break it down, like there are plot holes and weird things that happen, but it's just a really enjoyable film that I would definitely recommend if you have Disney Plus. Like, Soul is a beautiful film. It's like one of the best Pixar films I've seen in a little bit. You know, I would definitely recommend it. I'd probably give like a 9.25 out of 10. So thanks for watching. And if you want to see more reviews of me, you can subscribe down below. Thanks.